Ooh. Chicken bone.
Every time, no. I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that while I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cone. You know who coming to the stage. Sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that.
Go. You know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the core. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short, then listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Starts like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs, you know what's going on. Man, now we're After Dark, no LA, we the big spark. No 4th and inches won't cut you short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzzer beaters. We coming live all through your speakers. Go.
Go. It's live. It's raw. It's uncut NFL talk. How you like me now? I said, how you like me now? NFL Power Rankings tonight. Are you ready, boys and girls? Boom, 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 boom. 3, 2, 1. Go. And now, Mike's thoughts. Florida State players are in the mood to sue their colleges and coaches and boosters and a bunch of other stuff. Florida State players did not get some of their NIL money or none of their NIL money from this season. So they are in the process of hiring lawyers, suing the coaches, suing the boosters, and suing the school for not getting their money. So two things come to mind when I heard this story. Like, one, we kind of knew it was going to come. At some point, a college is not going to be able to live up to their hype, live up to their expectations, live up to their promises that they've been giving these players. $600,000 here, $1 million here, a car, a house, whatever you want, right? Playing time. They're not going to be living up to the expectations and their verbal agreements. With that being said, the second thing that comes to mind, why are these players not getting this stuff in writing? Now, I don't know if the Florida State players did not get their stuff in writing, but I have heard a lot of other NIL deals that are just verbal handshake agreements. Nothing in writing. Supplement stores, car dealerships, etc., right? Kind of a gentleman's, hey, man, I'm here to support you. Just trust me on this. Of course, a lot of these are not multi-million-dollar deals or a car payment or a car or this or whatever, right? Still pretty good stuff, right? But why is the NCAA not putting stuff in to protect these players from this type of situation? Why is the NCAA not hiring lawyers to get contracts done? Why is the NCAA, or the colleges for that matter, not protecting the best interests of these kids? Because I can tell you why. It doesn't fit their narrative. It doesn't fit their pocketbook. And I can promise you anything that I want, but as long as it's not in writing, screw you. Cue that intro. Are you ready for the best damn NFL show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
Yeah, hey, let's go. Hitting that gridiron, we going hard, we running the plays. You know the vibe, only the strong survive. Gotta keep your head in the game. Talking NFL, uncut, straight raw. Steady bringing that sauce. We about to take off. Get it hype, this man, our sport talk. Yeah, from the quarterback to the lineman. Everybody bringing heat. You don't really wanna try them. Hey, who gon' win? It's a battle of the giants. This show is the flyest. Nobody can deny it. This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception? This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception?
Let's go. What is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckeye here with the Man Hour Report of manhourradio.com. Check out the merchandise page. Of course, you guys check out the blog section as well. But most importantly, share this with a couple friends, because sharing is caring at the end of the day. Get out there, share the live feed, share the clips, share the stuff that we post. Get over there to facebook.com, hit that like button, and hit the share button as well. But most importantly, guys, I want you to become a Pigskin Pundit. From the bottom of my heart, I want you to become a Pigskin Pundit today. We are very, very near my goal of the Pigskin Pundit limit for this year, and I want to surpass that limit on this New Year's Eve. Happy New Year's Eve, and I want you to be a part of the Pigskin Pundit Group. You get free merch, you get after-hours footage, you get pre-show footage, and you get a lot of insights of what is going on here at the Man Hour Nation. But once January 1st starts, we're going to be reamping the Pigskin Pundits and give you guys even more. If you're a Pigskin Pundit, you know what I'm talking about. We're going to give you a lot more. But guys, this is Tuesday edition of manhourradio.com, and it is the NFL Power Rankings. It is time to talk a little bit about the NFL Power Rankings. Full disclosure, this is a pre-recorded show. I'm recording it here about 1 o'clock in the afternoon because I'm spending some New Year's Eve shenanigans with the family. I am in the chat right now, watching it along with you guys, so get in there and talk your shit. But full disclosure, this is a pre-recorded show. But this is still live, raw, and uncut NFL talk. So without further ado, let's get into this week's NFL Power Rankings, the final Power Rankings of the NFL season going into Week 18. And coming in at number 10, we have a team that I left for dead long, long ago. A team that I was like, stick a fork in them, right? Stick a fork in them. And that is the one and only the Cincinnati Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals, guys, since me sticking a fork in them, saying I don't have any faith in them, to me like I had faith in them, but I didn't think they were going to make a playoff push, they have won 4 games in a row. They have now improved to 8-8 on this year's season. If they beat the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday and the Miami Dolphins and the Denver Broncos lose on Sunday, the Cincinnati Bengals are in the playoffs. Guys, the Cincinnati Bengals might be one of the hottest teams in the NFL right now. Let's just call it a spade. They are a damn good team. They have the 8th ranked overall offense in the NFL, first in passing. The weakness of the Bengals all season long has been their defense. Most of the AFC North issues have been on the defensive side of the ball, which is weird to me, but it is what it is. They do have the 27th ranked overall defense. However, in this 4-game winning streak, guys, they are playing a lot better on the defensive side of the ball. Hendrickson is doing his thing. The rest of the boys are doing their thing. And they're holding people to under 25 or 23 points on average per game, including a 6-point game versus the Cleveland Browns. So coming in at number 10 this week, guys, are the Cincinnati Bengals. So in the comments below, guys, I want you guys to answer me this question. Do you think the Cincinnati Bengals will make the playoffs? Me personally, I do not think they're going to make the playoffs. It's just a lot of stuff has to align. The Dolphins and the Broncos both have to lose, and I don't think both of those teams lose, unfortunately. But do you guys think the Bengals will make the playoffs? And if they do, are they the most dangerous team in the playoffs? So me personally, I do not think they will make the playoffs. I do, however, think they're the most dangerous team in the playoffs if they make it. The Buffalo Bills do not want to play them. Kansas City Chiefs don't want to play them. Baltimore Ravens do not want to play them, right? They would have a very, very tough path with the 7th seed playing the Buffalo Bills in the wild card game, and then the Kansas City Chiefs in the divisional game, and then potentially the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC Championship game. It would be a tough way to go, but if anybody could do it, the Bengals could do it. But coming in at number 10, guys, I do have the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, a team that is unchanged from last week, sitting at the number 9 seed, and that is the one and only Washington Commanders. After losing 3 games in a row previous this season, they had now won 4 games in a row, going on 5 going into Week 18. Last week, in Week 17, the Commanders did finally lock up their playoff spot for the first time since 2020 with a thrilling win over the Atlanta Falcons in overtime. Jayden Daniels may have put his staple on the Rookie of the Year with that win. Do I think he's the Rookie of the Year? That's something we need to discuss in Factor Crap later on. But the Washington Commanders, guys, are unchanged from last week. They do have the 4th-ranked overall offense in the NFL. They have the 3rd-ranked rushing attack and 9th-ranked overall defense as well. And on top of that defense, they have the 3rd-ranked passing defense. And then, even better, they're 12th on 3rd down defense with teams having a success rate of only 37.9%. I have kind of not bought into the Commanders yet. The Commanders are a team that I'm still not 100% sold on, right? They are 1-4 versus playoff teams so far this season. However, they do have a great offense. They got a pretty good defense, right? You can never count them out. So coming in at number 9, guys, I do have the Washington Commanders unchanged from last week, but I think they're going to keep on keeping on, and I do think they get a win this week over the who they play? Why am I drawing blank? The Dallas Cowboys. There you go. The Dallas Cowboys. So moving on. Coming in at number 8, also unchanged from last week. This is another team that we all thought was left for dead. This was a team after a 1-4 start of this season. Like, the Rams are just kind of buying for that number 1 overall pick at this particular point, right? They're not very, very good. But the LA Rams do come in at number 8 again in this Week 18 NFL Power Rankings, guys. They did lock up a playoff spot finally by the Atlanta Falcons losing to the Washington Commanders on Sunday Night Football last week. and they will be in the 4th, if not the 3rd seed. Like I said, the Rams were all left for dead earlier this season after starting off 1-4 so far this season. Since then, since that 1-4 spark, guys, they are 9-2 with a 5-game winning streak. However, their offense is nothing really to write home about, right? They have the 17th ranked overall offense and the 14th ranked passing attack, and their defense is not much better. They had the 26th overall defense. As they're winning games and they're playing good football right now, those stats are lying to you guys. The LA Rams is a very, very good team right now, and they are going to be a tough out in the playoffs no matter who they play. Whether it's the Vikings, whether it's the Lions, it doesn't matter. It is going to be a tough out for anybody that plays the LA Rams. But I do have them coming in at number 8 this week, unchanged, because the teams above them are just a little bit better, right? The teams above them are just that much better. So just to recap so far, guys, let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments below, right? Coming in at number 10, we do have the Cincinnati Bengals make it, I think, their first appearance of the season, I think, honestly. And then the Washington Commanders, unchanged from last week, coming in at number 9. And then unchanged at number 8, coming in is the LA Rams. Now, coming in at number 7, this is a team that I still have faith in. This is a team that I still like to make a potential Super Bowl run, depending on who they play in the first round. This is a team that I dropped this week from number 5 down to number 7, and that is the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers do have their playoff seed already locked in, or their playoff spot already locked in, but they're looking to gain the 6th seed going into this weekend. If they can beat the Bears and the Commanders lose to the Dallas Cowboys, they do get the 6th overall seed. But as of right now, they're the 7th overall seed. The Green Bay Packers, guys, are sitting at 11-5 on this season. Their 5 losses have come to the top 3 teams in the NFC. They lost to the Vikings twice, they lost to the Detroit Lions twice, and they lost to the Eagles twice. All of them by single digits, except for a 10-point loss to the Detroit Lions earlier in the season. And on top of all that, guys, they do have the 7th ranked overall offense, the 5th ranked rushing attack, the 8th ranked overall defense, and the 6th ranked rushing defense. The only weakness on the Green Bay Packers, guys, right now is their pass defense, which they're ranked at 17th, giving up 220 yards per game. However, their top cornerback has been missing the last few weeks, and I think once he comes back into the playoffs, that pass defense will be a lot better moving forward. But I do have the Green Bay Packers, guys, moving down a couple spots this week from, I believe it was number 5. Actually, yeah, no, number 5 down to number 7. I still like them in the playoffs, depending on who they play. We talked about that last night. If you guys missed it, there will be a clip out there talking about it. But what do you guys think? The Green Bay Packers sitting at number 7. Do you agree? Disagree? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Now, moving on. This is a team that I am confused about. Let's just be honest. This is a team that I am not 100% sold on, but I can't sell them either, right? And that is the one and only Baltimore Ravens. They do move up a spot into the number 6 spot in this week's 18 NFL Power Rankings. The Baltimore Ravens, guys, are battling for the AFC title this weekend, and if they beat the Cleveland Browns, the title is theirs. If they do lose and the Pittsburgh Steelers do win, they will become the 5th seed in the AFC playoff picture. So it's a 3rd seed or potentially 2nd seed, depending on what the Buffalo Bills do, but they are looking for that AFC North title. This team has been up and down this season, guys, right? Earlier in the season, the first 4 games of the season, first 3 games of the season, they were a bad team. Start off 0-2, lost it to the Kansas City Chiefs and the Las Vegas Raiders, right? And then they went up. They won 5 games in a row, or 6 games in a row. They are looking like one of the best teams in the NFL, flying up the power rankings. But then they started to come back down. They struggled. They lost a couple games that they should have won, i.e. the Cleveland Browns. But since then, they went on a bye week, and they won 3 games in a row, and they're playing some of their best football to date. In those 3 wins, they have beaten the Steelers, the Texans, both playoff teams, and they dominated the New York Giants coming off of that bye week. Also, before the bye week, they did battle the Philadelphia Eagles, only losing by 5. The staple of the Baltimore Ravens all season long has been their number 1 ranked overall offense. Their offense has been nearly unstoppable. They're sixth in offensive passing and second in offensive rushing as well. The issue for the Ravens all season long has been the defense. The defense has not been very good. They have the 24th ranked overall defense as of right now. However, since the bye week, the defense has stepped up and been playing a lot better. Ever since the Ravens have moved Hamilton into that deep safety spot, the defense has been stepping up and playing a hell of a lot better. So coming in at number 6, guys, I do have the Baltimore Ravens battling for the AFC North title this weekend with the win over the Browns. They do clinch it and potentially could get the second overall seed if the Buffalo Bills do stumble versus the Patriots, yet to be determined. So, guys, the Baltimore Ravens coming in at number 6. Do you like it? Are they too high? Are they too low? Or are they just right? Let me know in the comments below. Let's have a civilized conversation about it. So coming in at number 6, we do have the Baltimore Ravens. Now, just to recap, coming in at number 10, we do have the Cincinnati Bengals. Coming in at number 9, we do have the Washington Commanders. Coming in at 8, we do have the LA Rams. Coming in at 7, we have the Green Bay Packers. And then just to recap one more time, number 6, we do have the Baltimore Ravens. Now, going into the top 5. The Detroit Lions finally crack it up into the top 5 yet again. They improved to 14-2 on the season with the win over the San Francisco 49ers on Monday Night Football. Earlier this season, guys, the Detroit Lions had 11-game winning streak. Even though the defensive injuries kept piling up, they kept on winning. They kept on doing work that I honestly was shocked by how good they were doing when their defensive players kept dropping week after week after week. So they can lock up the number 1 seed this weekend, week 18, with the win over the Minnesota Vikings at home. The Lions, much like the Ravens, guys, their offense has been nearly unstoppable most of the season. They have the second-ranked overall offense, second-ranked offensive passing, sixth in rushing. However, despite their defense filtering out players, right, winning a lot of games and kind of keeping opponents down a little bit, their defense ranking is not very good, guys. They are 22nd in ranked overall defense, 31st in pass defense, but they are in 3rd in rush defense. I think that 3rd-ranked offense rush defense is a little skewed because a lot of the teams are usually playing from behind. And they're also a below-average red zone team, allowing teams to score at a rate of 55%. So I do have them moving up in this week's power rankings to number 5, but let me give some justification of why they're not higher. Let me give you some justification of why they're not the number 2, the number 3, or the number 4 team even, right? It is because the defense is starting to show its weakness, right? Yes, I understand next man up all season long. Next man up, next man up, next man up. At some point, you're going to start to run out of bodies, and I think they have hit that wall, right? Yes, you did beat the San Francisco 49ers last night, or Monday Night Football. Yes, you finally did not lose a guy to IR after playing a game, but you still gave up 30-plus points to a not very good San Francisco 49ers team. And when you look at the Detroit Lions the last 3 or 4 weeks, right, the defense has been giving up some pretty good numbers, right? 42 points to the Buffalo Bills, 31 points to the Green Bay Packers, and 20 and 17 points to the Chicago Bears, right? Their defense is starting to kind of get figured out a little bit and starting to realize, like, hey, we have to continue to bring blitzers to get pass rush pressure, and it's starting to affect our pass defense. Because when you don't get pressure, when you send blitzes, and the defense is able to eat, that gives you the 31st ranked pass defense in the NFL. But I do have them moving up this week because even though I kind of throwing shade on their defense a little bit, the offense is still improving, and they're still 14-2 on the season, and they did get a big road win for the San Francisco 49ers comeback win on Monday Night Football. So I do have them kidding at number 5, moving up. Now, coming in at number 4, this is a team that I moved down in this week's power rankings. Yes, they have won a lot of games. They are 14-2 on the season. Yes, they are playing some really good football right now. I get that, right? And they have won 9 games in a row. But that is the one and only Minnesota Vikings coming in at number 4. Moved them down from number 2 to number 4. They did improve to 14-2 on the season with the win over their rival, the Green Bay Packers, in Week 17. They are currently on a 9-game winning streak. They do have the 12th ranked overall offense, 5th in passing, 19th in rushing attack, but their defense is a big issue. They have the 16th ranked overall defense, 28th in pass defense, and their red zone defense is allowing teams to score at a rate of 57%. So when a team gets into the red zone inside the 20, that team has a rate to score a touchdown at 57%, which is 16th in the NFL. The reason that I moved them down from 2nd to 4th this week is because of the same issues that I've had with the Minnesota Vikings all season long. The issue that I've had with the Minnesota Vikings is the inability to put the nail in the coffin, right? It is their inability to really, in the fourth quarter, to really just seal the deal, shut a team out. Because when you look at the Green Bay Packers game, they had a 3-score lead going into that fourth quarter. I believe it was 27-10 going into that fourth quarter. They did let the Green Bay Packers score a 2 kind of gimme touchdowns. I never felt like the Green Bay Packers were going to come back and win that game, but this is not the first time that they've allowed teams to hang around and make a fourth quarter push, right? For example, the Detroit Lions, they were up 14-0 in that first quarter. They ended up letting the Detroit Lions come back and win that game. Green Bay Packers, earlier this season, they were up 28-0. Let them hang around, make it a 31-29 game. The Chicago Bears, and you had another 10-point lead going into the fourth quarter. You let the Chicago Bears hang around, get a little confidence, and they made it a 3-point game. Yes, you did win all of those games. Yes, the Minnesota Vikings have been playing very, very good football as of late. I want to. They are on a 9-game winning streak. I don't want to take any shade, any blame from or anything away from that 9-game winning streak. But the reason I have them moving down in this week's power rankings is the inability to put the nail in the coffin. It is going to come back and bite them, whether it's week 18 or whether it's the first playoff game that they play. It is going to come back and bite them in the butt. So that is why I do have them sitting at number 4 and moving down this week's power rankings. Now, a team that's moving up in this week's power rankings are the Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles locked in the NFC East title last week with their win over the Dallas Cowboys. They are now on a 10-game winning streak. They were on a 10-game winning streak before they lost to the Commanders in Week 16 when Jalen Hurts went down in the first quarter. They have won 11 of the last 12 games. When you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, guys, they have their 6th ranked overall offense, their 1st in rushing, and their defense is by far the best defense in the NFL. They have the 1st overall ranked defense in the NFL, the 1st ranked pass defense in the NFL, and the 10th ranked rushing defense in the NFL. Guys, the Philadelphia Eagles are the best team in the NFC right now. This is a team that you do not want to play right now. This is a team that if you drew them in the playoffs, i.e. Green Bay Packers, it could be a very, very long day. The Philadelphia Eagles guys are bar none the best NFC team out there. They're better than the Vikings. They're better than the Lions. They're better than the Packers and the Commanders. Whoever you put out there, guys, the Philadelphia Eagles are the real deal. That is why I have them moving up from number 5 up into number 3 this week, is because the way they have been winning, right? And even despite the loss to the Commanders 2 weeks ago, and they lost their starting quarterback in the first quarter of that game, they still battled all game long, only losing 36-33. So the only downfall for the Philadelphia Eagles is their passing attack, right? They had the 31st ranked passing attack in the NFL. That's simply because they only throw the ball 18 times per game. When you have a back like Saquon Barkley and Kenneth Gainwell, let the boys eat, right? Let them eat. So coming in at number 3, I do have the Philadelphia Eagles. So just to recap one more time before we get to our top 2, we do have the number 10 ranked team, the Cincinnati Bengals, making their first appearance of this year's NFL power rankings. Coming in at number 9, we do have the Washington Commanders locking in their first playoff spot since 2020. Coming in at number 8, we do have the LA Rams locking in the NFC West title in week 17. Coming in at number 7, moving down in this week's power rankings, currently 7th seed in the NFC playoff race, are the Green Bay Packers. A team that's moving up, the Baltimore Ravens, battling for that second spot in the AFC playoff race this weekend. If they beat the Browns and the Bills lose, bada bing, bada boom, they're the second overall seed in the AFC. Coming in at number 5, moving up, we do have the Detroit Lions. Coming in at number 4, moving down in this week's power rankings, are the Minnesota Vikings. And then at number 3, moving up, we do have the Philadelphia Eagles. And that brings us to our number 2 team. Our second best team, and going into week 18, a team that I think can beat 31 other teams in the NFL right now, and that is the Buffalo Bills. Guys, the Buffalo Bills struggled a little bit week 16 versus the New England Patriots, and I may have overreacted a little bit to that. But come in the first half of the game versus the New York football Jets, they were struggling as well. And I made a post like, hey, they're looking pretty sluggish. I'm not for sure if they're the real deal. Insert the third and fourth quarter. The Buffalo Bills dominated. The Buffalo Bills continue to dominate, guys, over lesser teams in the NFL. They dominated the Jets on Sunday, and it shows that they are the second best team in the NFL. The Buffalo Bills have now won 3 games in a row since being upset by the LA Rams back in week 14. A very, very hot LA Rams team. Let's not get it twisted. However, the Buffalo Bills, guys, so far this season are 2-3 versus playoff teams so far this season. They do have the 9th ranked overall offense with MVP Josh Allen, and 9th in passing and 9th in rushing as well. Offense is top 10. Very, very good offense, right? The defense has been really the only issue about the Buffalo Bills all season long. They're currently ranked 20th ranked overall on the defensive side of things, 22nd in passing and 13th in rushing. However, the biggest flaw is their third down defense. But the Buffalo Bills have adopted this system, bend, don't break, and they keep opponents out of the end zone at a rate of 70%. So doing very, very well on the red zone defense, but the rest of the defense is kind of sus. But coming in at number 2 are the Buffalo Bills, guys. Do you think they're spot on? Are they too high or are they too low? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? And that brings us to our number 1 team. The number 1 team in the NFL, the best team in the NFL, the most dominant team in the NFL, and that is the one and only Kansas City Chiefs. They improved to 15-1 on the season with their Christmas Day win over the Pittsburgh Steelers while not scoring over 30-plus points yet again. Since their loss to the Buffalo Bills, they have won 6 games in a row. The Kansas City Chiefs, guys, are also 6-1 versus playoff teams so far this season. They have the 13th ranked overall offense. They're 10th in passing on the offensive side of things. They're 16th in rushing attack, but their defense is by far the best thing about the Kansas City Chiefs. They have the 4th ranked overall defense. They are 14th in passing, but they're 4th in rushing and 2nd in points allowed. So even though the offense is not scoring 30-plus points in a game like everybody thinks they should, their defense is not giving up points. The second points per allowed at 18. And the first place team are the LA Chargers, giving up 17.8. So they could easily shut out the Denver Broncos this weekend and become that first overall team as far as points allowed. But coming in at number 1, the defending back-to-back Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think of the power rankings? Are they too high? Are they too low? Or are they just right? So just to recap, number 10, the Cincinnati Bengals. Number 9, the Washington Commanders. Number 8, the LA Rams. Coming in at number 7, the Green Bay Packers. Number 6, we do have the Baltimore Ravens. Coming in at number 5, we do have the Detroit Lions. Coming in at number 4, we have the Minnesota Vikings. Number 3, we have the Philadelphia Eagles. And moving up, we have the Buffalo Bills into the number 1 spot. And unchanged from last week, repeat number 1 power rankings are the Kansas City Chiefs. So guys, let me know what you think of the power rankings. Is your team too high? Are they too low? Or is it just right? Let's have a civilized conversation, guys, in the comments when I post these clips. Share it with a couple friends, comment, and like it as well. But guys, it is New Year's Eve. It's 2 o'clock here on the East Coast time when I'm recording this. But as of right now, it's about 9:30 p.m. East Coast time. We're about 2 hours away, 2.5 hours away from our New Year's Eve, New Year's resolutions, guys. Thank you guys for joining us here on the 2024 NFL season. And tomorrow will be 2025, January 1st, and we'll be back live, raw, and uncut like we are every Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. East Coast time. Until then, guys, we out.